Welcome to our regular council meeting on Wednesday, October 22nd, 6 p.m. Meeting call to order. Madam Clerk, may I have roll call, please?
Yes. Mayor Yon,
Present.
Vice Mayor Cano,
Here.
Councilmember Gonzalez,
Here.
Councilmember Perez,
Here.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Here.
We have quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Leading us in invocation today is Councilmember Anita Gonzalez.
Dear Lord, as we gather for this council meeting, we pause to express our heartfelt gratitude for the projects that we are working on. We thank you for the opportunities you have given us to serve our community and to make positive differences. We are grateful for the talents and dedication of each member and staff, for the spirit of collaboration, and for the progress we have made so far. Please guide our discussions today and help us make wise decisions that benefit those we serve. Give us wisdom, patience, and understanding as we work through any challenges that may arise. We ask for your continued blessing on each project, that we may flourish and bring hope, improvement, and unity to our community. May we always remember to act with integrity, compassion, and respect towards one another. Thank you for the privilege of working together in service. May our efforts be fruitful and bring glory to your name. Amen.
Amen. Now, can everybody please stand? Leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance is Councilmember Martin Gutierrez.
Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilmember Gonzalez and Gutierrez, for the pledge and the invocation. Now, do I have a motion to approve our agenda as to form?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Cano, second by Councilmember Perez. Madam Clerk, may I have roll call, please?
Yes. Mayor Yon,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cano,
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez,
Aye.
Councilmember Perez,
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Now, moving on to our feature pet of the week or the month, presented by Community Development Director Megan Snyder.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Council, as well as our community members. Meet Sadie. She is a approximately 2-year-old pit mix, female. She was very dehydrated and needed some love when we got her, but she is completely recovered and back and looking for her forever home. She has a great disposition, good with other dogs. We've done a lot of assessments on all of the dogs at the shelter, and she's great with other dogs, great with all of our staff, so we know she'll make a great pet for a family. Adoption fees are waived for today, and we welcome any of you to take a look at her, get to know her.
Do we have any interest from the crowd that's present today? See a couple hands raised. Yes? You want to show the dog? Here we go. Showcasing our friendly. Nathan?
She's very, very sweet.
I was just wanted to see.
She will still be available at the shelter. We have all of our adoptable dogs listed on the city's website, and we'll be having more information coming on the city's social media. We'll have an adoption event also next week. So don't hesitate to reach out if you have any interest for Sadie or any of our other adoptable dogs. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Snyder. And thank you.
She's scared.
Moving on, we have no departmental reports. Moving on to consent agenda. The consent agenda consists of items in the staff's opinion
Mayor?
are routine.
Presentations.
I almost forgot the most important thing. Thank you for correcting me. Presentations, introductions, and awards. Garzoli Avenue Pedestrian Improvements and Widening Project Update, presented by our Public Works Director and BHT Engineering, Yurlis Hernandez. Thank you.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, City Council members. I wanted to put together a short presentation for you today just to kind of showcase our project that we have in design right now, which is the Garzoli Avenue Improvement Project. And I do have BHT online as well if you guys have any questions. Or Juan, correct me if I'm wrong during any of this presentation, if I have misrepresented anything. So go ahead and get started here. So this project was made possible by a grant we received by the California Department of Housing and Community Development. This is a no-match grant, which is design and construction will be completely covered by the grant. The scope of work for this project includes installing Class 2 bike lanes, widening the shoulder on the east end of Garzoli Avenue, pedestrian improvements, which include meandering sidewalks, curb and gutters, and ADA ramps. It also includes lighting and urban greening, meaning landscaping, trees, shrubs, and bushes, and also a CMU block wall that will line the existing properties that are on that Garzoli Avenue. So the limits of this project, which we call Phase 1, which would be city easement east end of Garzoli Avenue, and the limits are between Sherwood Avenue and Perkins Avenue.
To the left.
All right, so our engineer BHT provided us with three options of to choose from for staff. We dwindled it down to two options, but this is option one, which they have a lot of similarities, but I'll go ahead and touch on the differences as well once I get to option number three. But so option number one, as you can see, looking on your left-hand side on Sherwood Avenue, you see the blue section there. That'll be an ADA ramp. You see kind of like the squiggly coral color. That'll be meandering sidewalks, which will be infilled with landscaping. And also, I know it's really, really hard to see, but there is a yellow striping there in the center section there, which includes a right-hand turn lane and also a bike lane there. And similar on the very bottom there, a right-hand turn lane onto Perkins. So this improvement will include 3 travel lanes and a bike lane, 2 northbound lanes, and 1 southbound lane. It includes a pedestrian walkway and landscaping area approximately 23 feet. It expands to include a right-hand turn lane as you approach Kern Avenue and West Perkins Avenue. And also, I know when we presented these options to include 2 lanes going northbound, there's potential for speeding if there's just a straightaway and a straightaway pathway. So we're planning to do potentially implement a road diet, which we will include striping to shrink up that lane and just include 1 lane. And it gives us the option to accommodate for 2 lanes as the city begins to grow. And just to show you, there's a couple cross sections here that I'll go over on the next slide. This is the showcase going from the left to the right on your future improvements. That's the west end of Garzoli Avenue. So there's not going to be really work that's going to go on there at this point. I know there's future plans to develop that area, but for this project, there's nothing happening between that area and the 2 lanes that are currently existing at Garzoli Avenue. So in that yellow section you see there, that's going to be the additional lane that we're going to add, which is a 12-foot lane and also an 8-foot lane for a bike lane. And as you can see on the very right-hand side, we have 23 feet of landscaping area, including a meandering sidewalk. The section B that you see it down below, that's almost exactly the same thing, minus it's showing the right-hand turn lane once you get to those areas of West Kern and West Perkins. So at that right-hand turn lane, the bike lane will shrink to 5 feet. The right-hand turn lane will be a 13-foot right-hand turn lane, and then the meandering sidewalk and landscaping areas will be 13 feet in that section. So moving on to option 3, which this would be my recommendation to move forward with. This includes here, and it's difficult to see, but there's a center median that we're proposing to install with our engineers. The reason why we decided to propose a center median is as we're developing the west end of Garzoli, there's going to be potential commercial in that area. So we want to give the opportunity to be able to accommodate any pocket turns or provide any ability for the drivers to make a U-turn to get back to go northbound. So same thing as option 1, with the only difference here being center median dividing the north and southbound lanes. It also accommodates right-hand turn pockets for the future development of Garzoli. Still has 3 travel lanes, 2 northbound and 1 southbound. And it also includes a pedestrian walkway and landscaping of approximately 20 feet. And also a center median, which will be a 12 feet center median there. And what our plan is for the center median is just to stripe it initially in the first phase. We don't want to install a concrete center median just now because to be able to accommodate, we don't want to demo or take out any concrete to accommodate any future developments on the west end. So moving on to the section view here. So as I mentioned, Very little change, but there are some changes to the widths of the travel lane or the bike lane and also the pedestrian area. So the biggest change here is you have a 5-foot bike lane as opposed to an 8-foot bike lane as shown on option number 1. And also you're reducing the landscape area to 20 feet as opposed to 23 feet on option number 1. And also, we wanted to propose a center median as well because as this road develops or as the city grows, the center median provides for safety purposes as well, and also to beautify that area, to be able to install any landscaping in those areas. So just a little visual there, kind of show a little bit of the background. I know that's an older picture. There's not that much weeds there right now. I think that's pretty trimmed up, but I think this is an old picture from Google Maps, but just kind of want to present what it looks like before and after. So as you can see in the center section there, you got landscaping, trees, bushes, shrubs, you name it. And also the extension showing to widen up that road to accommodate for an additional lane and also the bike lane, curb and gutters, and then also the walking, meandering sidewalk there. Just a couple before and after pictures, how it could potentially look once it's all completed, once all the improvements are done. I did want to touch a little bit on the bottom right, left-hand corner there. There is some properties there that are using the easement as a drive approach or a driveway to their homes. So those will potentially be in conflict with our proposed CMU block wall that we want to install. So we'll be working with community development to notify those residents to start making accommodations to allow us to install the CMU block wall. But this is essentially what it will potentially look like. So this is a rendering done by Brianna E. So thank you for that. But yeah, it'll look really, really nice, and we're excited for this project. And I'm available for any questions or recommendations you may have, and also Juan, with our engineer with BHT Engineering. So, thank you.
Thank you, Yurlis. I'm going to open up to the public if they have any questions, concerns, comments regarding this expansion from Garzoli on this presentation. Seeing none, I'm going to close it to public comment. I'm going to bring it back to the council. I'm going to bring it back to, we'll start with Councilmember Gutierrez. Do you have any questions, concerns, comments?
Only question is when is it scheduled to start and end?
So this project is currently in design right now. It's scheduled to be completed by January 31st.
No other questions.
Thank you.
The design portion of it. Let me
Yeah.
clarify that. The design portion.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Yes, yes, I have a couple questions. With either option that we take, will it match up from Perkins to Elmo?
Yes, that's correct. So that was a plan with the CMU block wall there to match the existing development that was done on track 7214. Has a CMU block wall, has a meandering sidewalk and landscaping in that area. So that's the intent, to be able to match that, to provide some uniformity there in that area.
But like the medium that you said, the U-turn and all that you want to make, all that'll match up with that?
We could potentially install the median as well, north of Perkins. Specifically just for this project, we would like to install the median, but there is enough space to accommodate for the median north of Perkins as well.
And then I also have a question. Are you planning to use the current walls as the perimeter, the current walls as the perimeter of the new area?
The existing walls that are there, no, we will be installing a brand new wall.
Okay.
Just right beside the property line there. So there's some difficulties to encounter to be able to install it right at the property line. That would mean demoing existing walls or fences, which we don't want to do. So we're going to try to get it to as close as possible to the property line or those existing gates or fences.
So they'll be separate walls?
It would be separate.
Perfect. Thank you. That's all I have.
Sure.
Thank you, Councilmember Gonzalez. Councilmember Perez?
I just have a comment. Thank you and your team. I believe the talks about this project were held way back when. So just to remind people that projects do not happen overnight. They do take a while, and it's finally coming to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Perez. Vice Mayor Cano?
No questions. Thank you.
Yurlis, good job as far as getting this. Me and Ms. Perez really don't always disagree on things, but I'm going to disagree with her on this. And here's the reason why. when you have competent employees and you have competent department heads, this is what gets done. And this needs to get done by next year. We lose that grant. This thing's been on the table for about 5 years, 4 years. But thank you, Yuri, to your team. Thank you, Brianna E., Megan. That's what happens when you have people that know what they're doing. But got a couple questions. So they'll have, what you're saying is they're going to have two fences, pretty much their fence and then the perimeter?
Correct. So we'll have the property fence currently at the homes that are there, and then we'll have our block wall right beside it.
Is Juan listening to us?
Yes, Juan, are you available there? Can you hear us?
Hello, yes, I'm here. I'm listening. It's a little shaky on the sound, but I think I can hear everybody, yes.
Okay. No, thanks, Yuri. We're going to be under construction for the next couple of years, I think, and BHT has been a big, I want to say a big sponsor as far as receiving our contracts. I think BHT could partner up with the city as far as some donations for our local youth and nonprofit organizations. Not to put you on the spot, Juan, but just letting you know. I didn't get a yes.
I don't know what to say.
Just say yes, Mayor and Council. Thank you for the partnership. I don't.
We'll get back to you then.
All right. No, thank you so much. No, thank you, Luis, for this presentation, and Juan. And we got a lot more projects to complete and get the things going. But thank you again, Luis.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Juan.
Thank you.
I usually don't like putting people on the spot, but it just had to be.
No.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to consent agenda. The consent agenda consists of items that, in staff's opinion, are routine and non-controversial. These items are approved in one motion unless a council member or member of the public requests to remove a particular item. Anybody from the council, from the public, would like to discuss or remove a particular item from the consent agenda? Seeing none, I'm going to bring it back to the council. Anybody from the council wants to discuss or remove a particular item from the agenda?
I have none.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Gonzalez, second by Councilmember Perez. Madam Clerk, may I have roll call, please?
Yes. Mayor Yon,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cano,
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez,
Aye.
Councilmember Perez,
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on, we don't have no public hearings. Moving on to item number 9, administrative agenda, approval of resolution number 2025-139, City Council of City of McFarland, approving the creation of a new part-time positions with the city department. Our city manager, Diego Viramontes.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and Council. Tonight's item requests to establish several part-time positions across Public Works Administration and police departments to meet the city's increasing service demands in the most cost-effective manner. Currently, these growing demands are being met primarily through overtime, which has become increasingly expensive and unsustainable. The proposed part-time positions, including 2 maintenance workers in Public Works, 1 administrative assistant in administration, and overall just in City Hall, and 1 police office technician and 2 part-time police officers for the police department. We believe will provide operational flexibility, weekend and coverage support, and help reduce overtime costs. Additionally, these part-time positions will serve as a valuable buffer during periods of turnover, allowing trained part-time employees to compete for full-time openings and transition more quickly into vacant roles. The total estimated cost for the remainder of the fiscal year, 25-26, is not expected to exceed $150,000 across all departments, and we anticipate that this will be absorbed within existing departmental budgets, offset by reductions in overtime expenditures. And with that, I'm open to any questions council or the public may have.
Thank you, Diego. I'm going to open it up to the public. If they have any questions, concerns, or comments regarding these positions being mentioned as far as for this year's budget. Seeing none, I'm going to bring it back to the council. I'm going to start off with Councilmember Gonzalez. Do you have any questions, comments?
No, I have none. Thank you, Diego.
Councilmember Gutierrez?
The only comment, great idea. That's it.
Thank you. Councilmember Perez?
None, thank you.
Vice Mayor Cano?
No comments.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea. Way to think outside the box, Diego. As far as paying the overtime, bringing in some new staff, and potentially retaining that staff if they work out with the city. But it gives the opportunity for more community members to apply for the city if that's possible, if they meet the criteria. But thank you. Do I have a motion to approve this resolution?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Gonzalez, second by Councilmember Gutierrez. Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Yes. Mayor Yon,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cano,
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez,
Aye.
Councilmember Perez,
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Now moving on to item 10, approval resolution number 2025-140, a resolution of intention between the Board of Administration of California Public Employees, Retirement System, CalPERS, and the City of McFarland. Mr. Viramontes.
Honorable Mayor and Council, during a review of the city's original CalPERS contract presented to Council on August 13th, staff identified an administrative error on CalPERS' end and used the opportunity to evaluate ways to strengthen employee retention, particularly within the police department, where we've been struggling to recruit and retain qualified personnel. The proposed contract before you corrects that error and increases the city's contribution toward public safety retirement benefits to better align with surrounding agencies, making McFarland more competitive in recruitment and retention. To offset the increased cost of this added benefit for police personnel, the city is proposing to eliminate the retention bonus previously offered to sworn officers. The resolution of intention establishes retirement formulas of 2.7% at 57 for local safety members and 2% at 62 for local miscellaneous members. The next step in the process will be to hold employee elections for both groups to ensure a majority of the group agrees to participate in CalPERS, followed by bringing the final ordinance and contract back to City Council for approval. There is no immediate fiscal impact, and final contribution rates and overall financial impact to the city will be presented prior to the adoption of the ordinance and execution of the CalPERS contract, which is anticipated to take effect within the first payroll of fiscal year 26-27. We're hoping to do it before then, but we don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. So our reasonable expectation is for that to be effective next fiscal year if we continue down this road.
Thank you, Diego. I'm going to open up to the public. Anybody got questions, comments, concerns regarding this item? Seeing none, I'm going to bring it back to the council. Start off with Councilmember Gutierrez. Any questions, comments?
No questions.
Thank you. Councilmember Gonzalez.
I don't have any. Thank you.
Councilmember Perez.
None, thank you.
Vice Mayor Cano.
No questions.
So no questions, just comments. Diego, exceptional job. You and the staff, Serena, working on this with our policing and public safety. I know how hard it is to recruit and retain good officers, and what that contributes is with great quality of life that our residents are cared for and protected, and basically it changes the whole scope about walking and living in this community. But absolutely outstanding work. Hopefully we'll see what the vote goes, but this is a great tool to retain and recruit different individuals to our community.
Absolutely.
But good job. All right, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion?
Second.
Oh,
Motion by Vice Mayor Cano, second by Councilmember Perez. Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Mayor Yon,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cano,
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez,
Aye.
Councilmember Perez,
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Now moving on to public comment. Members of the public wishing to address the council about any item not on the agenda may do so at this time. Speakers are limited to 2 minutes for each person. 15 minutes total will be allowed for any one subject. Please state your name and address for the record before making presentations. Do we have anybody for public comment?
Yes, we do have Jim White.
Jim White, 364 Cliff Avenue. I just wanted to bring it to your attention that we do have a voting measure coming up. And you guys have put in the Measure C, and that is a general tax, a 1% tax, not 1%, but 1 cent tax. And the public needs to be aware of this. There's a lot of things that you can do with it. I know one that our Parks and Rec is financially just about in the hole. I don't know how long they're going to last, but they are in dire need. And these taxes, or these 1 cent that we get from the measure, could possibly be used for that to help bail them out. It also can be used for the police or for the parks or the fire department or anything else. It's a general tax. The way I understand it, a general tax can be used for various things, but a sales tax is different. If you're buying something in McFarland, you will pay a general tax or a sales tax also. It was 8 1/4, and that will raise it to 9 1/4. And so that 1 cent would possibly help, and we need all the help that we can get for the city to help this pass, because it's going to be very important for our city, especially I think the Parks and Rec really need it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. White. Do we have anyone else?
There are none.
Would anybody like to come and speak? A public comment. I see several students here regarding. Going once, going twice. Anyone? Yes, before I close it. Usually a lot of people don't open this up, but I do. I like the transparency. So, okay, I'm going to be closing public comment. I'm going to be moving on to council comments. I'll start with Mr. Gutierrez. Councilmember Gutierrez, do you have any council comments? Councilmember, thank you, Mr. Gutierrez. Councilmember Gonzalez?
No, I have none. Thank you.
Councilmember Perez?
I just want to say thank you, everybody, for the prayers that were said for my family. My brother did pass away on September 19th, and I really appreciate the flowers that I received. It's been a really difficult time, and I'm really glad to be back. It was a hard, about 80 days that we were dealing with that situation with my brother. He is resting peacefully now, and I also want to thank you for the staff for the great work, and the streets are coming along fine. They're looking beautiful, and that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, Councilmember Perez. Vice Mayor Cano?
No comments.
All right. I want to talk about this 1 cent measure. Our city is at a turning point. For over 10 years, there's been poor management within the Parks and Rec District. We do not manage our Parks and Rec District. They have their own elected board. The taxes go over there annually. And I just want to clear that because a lot of residents do not know that. Parks and Rec have let their community struggling programs have been cut. The community pool has been closed, and essential services for our seniors have been disappeared. Right now, our district is operating on financial deficit. If you don't believe me, look at their audit. It's already taken out 2 loans just to stay above water, 2 existing loans. I can't really clarify as far as what's the financial debt, but it's over millions. So this 1 cent is very important for our community, because if we don't get going with our pool, with our Parks and Rec, when do you think we're going to have a community pool if the Parks and Rec are in a financial deficit? It's been 7-8 years since that pool's been opened, and I don't see an opening unless this measure gets approved. But that's not up to us. That's up to the residents in this city. And what I like to say is, a couple years ago, we had measures, and that was to fix our public safety. That was to fix our roads. That was to fix our infrastructure. We have fixed over 16 streets, brand new streets. We have fixed over 54 streets repaved. Our overpasses that haven't been addressed in 50 years, we're getting them done. As you can tell, when you came over, Sherwood's getting done next. Our public safety went from 3 to 4 officers. We're close to 30 now. Our fire services were paid on time. Our financials are not in a deficit. And what I'm trying to get at is, we practice what we preach, and we preach what we practice. We said we were going to deliver this in a couple of years, and we did it. And this is where I'm asking the community members to trust in us and our department heads and our city staff that we will deliver this. So it's an investment for our community. Why is it called Measure C? We didn't put the letter on it, but when they asked me, I said, it's for the community. And they're like, oh. I said, yeah, it's for the community. We want to give back to our youth, our seniors, what we had here in the 1990s, the early 2000s. I just don't understand why we had those services and they're not here anymore. But it's real simple to figure that out. This measure, if it passes, we plan to open up that community pool this summer so that students can learn how to swim and have that vital need as far as either to save a sibling, save themselves, and have that basic need of just learning how to swim. It's been nearly 7 years that this swimming pool has been open. We want to bring back programs for our seniors, giving them a safe place to engage and connect and stay active. We want to strengthen our parks and rec. We want to have programs yearly, back to back, so our kids stay busy throughout the year, not only 2 sporting programs, and bring down that cost. And let me tell you, residents, nobody likes to be taxed. I don't like being taxed. I live here. But for those that can afford it, to go to Delano, Shafter, and Wasco, you are already spending money traveling elsewhere. You're already spending money in other communities. Why not bring that back to our community? This measure is about returning value back to the people of McFarland. It's a return investment on ourselves. One important thing that I would like to say is it will have local control. I would want an oversight committee from the community to make sure that these appropriations are going where they're supposed to be going. And when I mean local control, the money doesn't go to the county. It doesn't go to the state. It stays here. And if you've noticed what's changed in the city of McFarland, because we've been taking care of the stuff that's been needed here for decades. So our community sees the results. I hope they see the results this council and this administration have done in the last 4 or 5 years. We brought stability, accountability, and progress that was once neglected. But that's what I want to add with that 1% the 1 cent sales tax. And I'll leave that there. One reason we as council members or department heads, me personally, on my YouTube, or I watch a lot of other city council meetings, I watch board of supervisors, to stay engaged, to see what's going on with other communities. That's how you're going to be able to see what grants or what's available out there. So yesterday I took the time to view the Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting. During the meeting, several residents came up and were concerned about a new $1,500 permit requirement for vendors to sell any food at any Kern High School district. Middle school, junior high, high school. That's $1,500. What vendor's going to want to go to school and sell their food? That's going to help students with not only their clubs, field trips, equipment, gear, right? I don't know what environmental group or approved that, but it's approved through the state now. So Kern County High School is pretty much, you have to abide by the school's regulations or the state's regulations. And I just want to bring something up, what we did here as a city regarding pop-ups and things that were wanted to be done in this community to fundraise. So I'm going to bring up Megan Snyder, our Community Development Director, because we had to put regulations and security measures for any event. If you only knew how much money our city has paid in the last 15 years for lawsuits, that's why our insurance premiums are so high, because of the mismanagement that was prior to this administration. And I'm going to have Megan introduce what our city staff did, work thoroughly and diligently as far as how to bring out the small businesses, have pop-ups, as long as the host or whoever was holding these pop-ups would take responsibility of having the insurance. But I'll let Megan explain, and it's pretty easy math. $1,500 compared to what the city was going to charge you or charge the individual. Go ahead, Megan.
Okay, so as Mayor mentioned, one of the items that's critical to all of us in processing these applications is the public safety factor. We do review it with both Public Works as well as our Chief of Police to ensure that we take all the safety precautions for every event that we move forward. The process is a temporary use permit. You saw one approved tonight as well for an event that's going to be happening in the next couple days. Basically, we go through this process with our senior city planner internally and also the applicable department heads, as I mentioned, to ensure that we have the appropriate conditions of approval met. That is around mostly public safety, but there are some other parameters depending on where the location is, depending on what the impact to traffic is, different things for different situations, but we make sure to address those on a case-by-case basis. Once that event is approved, then we deal with the event coordinator, if you will, for the organization that puts the event on. Our requirement is that they move forward to go through a background check, live scan process, and that they have insurance for the event. Neither of which are extremely cost prohibitive. We know there is a cost associated, but we've tried to get it to the most cost-effective point that we can to ensure that that pass-through cost does not move forward to the community. From there, we have reduced our prices exponentially. Typically, a business license could range. It's usually on gross receipts. However, we did move this forward for pop-up events to accommodate this want from the public. We want to encourage small businesses. That is the heartbeat of our community, and we want to continue to move those small businesses forward so they move into brick and mortar, and we continue to see business grow in McFarland. That being said, we made these pop-up events $10 per day per vendor. That being said, there is a cost that is a pass-through cost for the city that's another $19. So the first day of an event, let's say you have a 3-day event, is $29. All subsequent days for that event would be $10. We tried to get it to the most cost-effective point that we could to ensure that all businesses have a lower threshold to move forward to participate. So some of the dessert vendors, things like that, they were not going to make such a high revenue that it made sense for them to move forward. So we heard that concern from the public, and we wanted to move that forward in a place that was cost effective for every business type, if you will. Some of those fees, we don't really have a choice. We have to move them forward. The city cannot take them on. One, it's not cost effective, and two, it doesn't meet the government spending requirements. However, it's important that you know that we have taken it to the point that we feel is fair and equitable across the board and with business in mind. And in regard to those events, one thing that I believe I missed, if I'm being redundant, I apologize. It is a requirement for the event coordinator to go to the county to ensure they have a health permit for their event. We also comply with that when we have city events. Please know that. We are also responsible for that. The Great Festival is a prime example. We met with the county individual. We walked through vendor to vendor, ensured our list was correct, and moved it forward. So we're not immune to this. These requirements are basically passed through. We do them the same way. That being said, the cost for those events, we've paid between $500-ish, maybe a little bit more on some of the events, but it isn't $1,500. So I will say that's something to consider when you're planning an event. That number is also based on how many vendors you have. So that's something to consider. Typically, those costs are passed through to the vendors. So, for instance, some of our other event vendors or event coordinators will put an additional cost. So they'll have their business license cost, but they also have a cost of $25, $30, $40 per vendor for their event as well. That's how they cost recover that county permit. So I think that covers all the bases of kind of what we've done, a little bit of the history and why we did it.
Thank you, Megan, for those in attendance and those listening to live stream. It's pretty easy math and not pull out a calculator. They're going to be charging you $1,500 while the city's charging $30. So, you know what I mean? It's really common sense. And the city of McFarland, we do things a lot different. We're very transparent on how we present things. Our city only requires a small permit, and we're trying to bring those small businesses to make to make our city lively again and have some events. But there's got to be measures set in place. And then the host has got to carry that insurance. So I want to take a moment to thank our city council, Diego, our city staff, Diego, Megan, Paul, Yurley, Serena, and Chief for their continued efforts to protect the city of McFarland from any city litigation and operates responsibly. Many people do not realize the financial cost the city has gone through in the last 20, 30 years, only if they would know how much the city has paid out. Where the council, department heads, and board members had the responsibility and failed our residents. The reason I want to bring this up is I teach at the high school. I had several students come up to me, student athletes come up to me in the last couple months, and they approached me and they said, "Hey, Mr. Ione, why is the city trying to take our fundraising money? Why are they charging us all this?" And at first I was like, it doesn't make any sense. But then, once you're told by three different individuals and three different classes, then I needed to bring this up because whatever coach is spreading this false rumor, or assistant coaches are spreading this false rumor, here's the thing. Here's the difference between us and any entity here in the city. We're live stream. You could view our meetings at any time, and you could see what we present, and it's on our agenda. The city in the last 4 years, we've proudly supported our youth and student athletes for years, and not only just student athletes, also the band. We've sponsored football team, youth football team, basketball teams, soccer, baseball, wrestling, and cross country for the last 5 years. And like the youngsters like to say, I have the checks and the receipts to prove it. Furthermore, every McFarland student that receives a high school diploma receives financial support through the city and through the GEO group. Now let me ask you, how many of the cities provide that kind of direct service to their students once they get their high school diploma? All I gotta say is the city of McFarland stands by the students, and if you have any responses, come to our city council meeting, and we're here to answer any of your questions and concerns. So, thank you for allowing me to discuss this, and I'll continue providing any transparency anybody wants. So, if you're a coach and spreading these rumors, I'm not too hard to find. So, but thank you. I'll leave with that. Okay, moving on to report city council on committee special districts. Moving on to current council of governments. Current COG had a meeting last week. We're receiving over $200,000 to fix a lot of the sidewalks, especially on the east side, to actually put cement. Correct, right, Yurlis? We don't know how many sidewalks, but we're Public Works Director will basically.
Yeah, Mayor, so this is referring to TDA Article 3 project, which we have 3 phases for this project. This first round, we received $202,000 to fix sidewalks throughout the city. So that project is currently in design and hopefully out to bid here at the beginning of next year.
Thank you, Ulish, for the great job, the partnership, and this is what happens when you have partnerships with other agencies around the county. We're able to get some funding for our city, and this is going to continue because we have the right department heads and the right staff going. We're not perfect, but we're a lot better than we were from years ago, and that's a big thanks to the city council that's moved the needle for our residents. Moving on to current in DC, Paul's not here. Diego?
Yes, current DC met September 25th to discuss a few items. They presented their financial reports for June or July through August. They're in a very good financial standing. They appointed to fill a vacancy on the executive committee, and also approved an amendment to the bylaws related to the board service terms to remove the term limits. They announced that the Energy Summit will be on November 13th, and there will be a West Kern Alliance meeting on November 12th, and the next board meeting is scheduled for January 22nd.
Thank you, Diego, for the update. Now moving on to Delano Mosquito Abatement District, Vice Mayor Cano.
Mosquito, the season is coming to an end, or the mosquito season is coming in since the temperatures are dropping. But with this rain, make sure you do throw out any buckets of water that might be out there. because if we do get a warm up, anything over 80 degrees, we will get mosquitoes starting to populate. So just don't forget, there is still a West Nile virus advisory out there, and we want to make sure nobody gets it here in Kern County. Luckily we have not had any case here in Kern County.
Thank you, Vice Mayor, for the update. We don't have anything to report for the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District. Moving on to council statements and reports. On their own initiative, council members may make a brief announcement or a brief report on their own activities. In addition, council members may ask a question of staff or the public for clarification on any matter. Provide a reference to staff and other resources for information. Alternatively, request staff to report to the City Council at a later meeting concerning any matter. Furthermore, the City Council or any member thereof may take action to direct staff to place a matter of business on a future agenda. And we'll start with Councilmember Gutierrez.
All right. First, I want to start off by thanking all our community members in attendance. Especially, I'm happy to see our seniors. Most of them are seniors that I've seen them grow up because they're the same age as my son. But thank you that they came here to represent the city and themselves. And I also want to thank our department heads. I keep on getting compliments wherever I work that our city's turning around, and thank you. Thank you guys for all your continued hard work. I also want to thank our mayor, too, for every time I see that he's a great face for the city when he goes to Washington, D.C. and Sacramento. So I know that he's collecting some money for us. Also, I want to thank my council members for the continued guidance that they've given me to be part of the city council, and especially their help at the League of Cities that I attended 2 weeks ago. I learned a lot, especially I need to do a lot more, but hopefully with their guidance, I'll continue to grow. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Gutierrez, for those kind words, and your energy and your quietness will lead you very, very, very far as you continue to progress in this position. I'm going to go to Councilmember Gonzalez.
Just everyone, thank you for attending tonight's meeting. It was very informative, and I appreciate you guys coming, the staff. Great job at what you do. A lot of things are happening in the city with the streets, and so I just ask for you guys to be patient when you're out there driving, and just exciting things are coming, and I appreciate that we're all being able to see this together. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Gonzalez. I'm bringing it to Councilmember Perez.
Thank you, Mayor, and I think I spoke too soon earlier, so I already gave a comment. Thank you.
That's okay. Vice Mayor Cano.
My sentiments are the same to the community. Thank you for your attendance, to all our heads of departments, city manager, director of operations, Megan, chief, city clerk, Erica. I know there's a lot going on behind the scenes people don't get to see. Brianna E. always tends to be in the corner of everything, but everyone has responsibilities, and as we can see, they're getting done. The city is moving really quickly. Before the raining, hopefully before the main rain season comes, but the roads should be getting done. I know that's a big project here in the city that's happening, but as you can tell, there's multiple pieces moving, and fortunately and unfortunately, but they're moving and we're getting them done, I think, soon. Like Martin said, thank you to everyone for their support. People don't realize it, but our mayor is constantly working. Sometimes I can't even get a hold of him. That's how busy he is. But we know we know that everything's happening. He's always on it. He's always trying to get things done, and you know, the season's coming to an end. The year's coming to an end, so there's a lot of events coming up. Keep in touch on the social medias because they are posting them. So hope to see everyone there. We do have the city of McFarland. Our McFarland Chamber does have a Halloween event coming up this Friday. Everyone is invited. It's a $25 fee to attend. There will be food dinner served and dessert. So anyone, $25, that is to attend the mixer. You don't have to be a business owner, but it's important to attend city. It's a good moment to come together and discuss the futures and maybe even discuss, ideas you might have. Thank you. 6 o'clock, Friday, here at the Veterans Hall.
All right, thank you, Vice Mayor, for those words and the support. One thing he forgot to mention is that mixer 99%, 99% of that money goes for high school seniors that apply for local scholarships. That money goes to 10 of those local seniors applying for it. So it's important that if you want to give back to the community, this is a good event to contribute for our youth. Okay? Before we end this regular council meeting and go into closed session, I want to take, last Friday we had a presentation. I want to thank our staff. Good job, Megan, on the flower arrangements and all the city staff that set everything up. It was a presentation regarding the flooding that's been going on here for 40 years, if not longer. And some of our students spoke in regards to that, and a lot of these projects, this project to fix the infrastructure for the Pozo Creek, because since 1998 or maybe before that, whenever it rains very heavy and it rains steadily, the infrastructure from Pozo Creek can't sustain that water. So when the Pozo Creek breaches, 4 communities are affected: the city of McFarland, Allensworth, Pond, and Alpal. And the reason is because of obviously the railroad is a big berm, and so obviously the water runs through the city of McFarland, but for sometimes it runs through that dairy, and we know what's at that dairy, correct? We have cows, we have affluents, we have stuff that runs, and it runs through our east side. So for the last 3-4 years, we've been, as a council and staff, we've been going to Sacramento. We proposed this to the River Partners, a nonprofit organization, to look into it. And when we met up with them, it was brought to my attention they had this similar problem years ago with another community up north. And so we partnered up, and the only way that you could address this or bring it to the state capitol, if you have an elected official such as a senator or assembly for the state, presented in front of their council, and they did, and they were asking for $43 million, and they were only able to get close to $21 million. And what's really, I don't want to say upsetting, but discouraging, is that this project of ours consists of human beings. It doesn't consist of trees and habitat or animals. This is human beings being relocated. We had a death in 1998. We have people have to be relocated over here to the west side to a school, and I just had a big problem. I mean, I don't know. I know it's a start, but if people could see the frustration our residents have had here for 30, 40 years, because I don't want to say they've given up hope, but they say, hey, everybody says they're going to fix it. We finally had the attention from Sacramento and other people and realized that this project is important, not only for the city of McFarland, but for other communities. And I hope the state is paying attention and seeing if they could find some more funding so they could complete these projects within the next year or two, so that whenever we have heavy rain or we have snow and it melts quickly, we don't have to worry about relocating 5,000 people from the east side to the west side. This is something that should have been fixed and addressed a long time ago. But I'm not going to be a negative person. I'm happy, and hopefully their board selects Pozo Creek as their first project, but we'll see what happens in a couple weeks. With that, I would like to thank Maria. Welcome back to the City Council. We missed you, your pleasantness, so welcome back. Get to work. And I want to thank everyone that continues to make our city a great place to live. Our streets, our sidewalks are being improved, repaired as we speak. By the way, our overpass in Sherwood is going to be shut down tomorrow. Just tomorrow. So plan accordingly. If you travel from Bakersfield, make sure you come time or get off the Whistler. This overpass will be closed all day tomorrow. Okay. So I want to thank our city staff and the work of the council supporting all the projects that we got going on and asking those hard questions. I also want to thank our taxpayers, residents, for trusting us with their taxpayers' money being spent wisely. We are delivering on the promises we set from 2020, and we will continue to provide the quality services for our community, what it deserves. Thank you, everyone. Have a safe night. Travel safely. And our regular meeting has ended. God bless you.
Can I add something?
Sure.
When I was mentioning events happening, the McFarland Police Department will be holding the trunk or treat this Saturday from 1 to 4 at the Kern Avenue back area where the playground basketball area is,
Where I was a legend.
where Mr. Ayón claims to be a legend like the Cowboys. So we'd like to see the whole community out there. Be nice to see everyone out there. It's going to be a great event like it has been for the last few years, 5 years, I know for sure. But hope to see everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. That ends our regular council meeting. Everybody have a good night. Oh, we're also
November 7th.
two other things. We're having
Community vigil.
the community vigil November 7th, and we're also having November 2nd with the mujeres at the community garden. Yeah. We're also having the Mujeres Activas are having their pumpkin patch on the 23rd and 24th. Please go. It's a great event. They do a tremendous job. Last year was their first one, and all their proceeds go to the less fortunate. They make Christmas baskets for the less fortunate. They're doing a very outstanding job. Go out there and support them. I'll be out there tomorrow or Friday, but absolutely attend that. And then also November 2nd, they're having a function for the Day of the Dead. Can you give us a time, Megan, on that end, or?
Yes, they're going to host it at 2 p.m. in remembrance. Basically, it'll be a community ofrenda hosted by the Mujeres Activas and the city of McFarland.
Okay, November 2nd, correct?
November
2nd. Second. And November 7th is our vigil. Okay? All right, well, that ends our regular council meeting. Thank you so much. We're going to move. Nathan, can you discuss our closed session, please?
During closed session, council has 2 items on the agenda. It's a conference with real property negotiations pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.8. The property is Frontage Road / Perkins Avenue. Under negotiation is the price. And the second item is significant exposure to litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9B, and there's 1 case.
Thank you, Nathan. And that ends our regular council meeting. Our next meeting is November 12th at 6 p.m. Thank you. Have a good night.